Hey everyone, this is Christy from the Yadkin County Public Library, and today we're going to have a basic video on knitting and our stitch therapy class today. So the 4 techniques we're going to work on is cast on, a knit one, a knit two together, and a yarn over. So let's get started. First of all, you're going to have your needles. My pattern calls for a size 9 knitting needles. So that's what I have. You can use any type of knitting needle you like, whether it's metal or bamboo or whatever material, whatever is easiest for you. I tend to like the bamboo. I just think they are a little easier to slide in and out of the yarn, especially since I'm a tight knitter. So those work really well for me. I have some cotton yarn. If you're going to, our pattern we're going to share today that we're going to practice our techniques on is a simple knitted dishcloth. So a knitted dishcloth, you really want to use a cotton yarn of some sort, so that works the best. So to get started, we're just going to make us a slip knot, and you're just going to wrap your yarn around your fingers, pull through the back of the loop, and then just give a tug. That's going to make you a little loop with a knot at the bottom. You're going to insert your left needle into that and just give a little tug to get it more secure on the needle. So for our basic cast on, you're going to insert your needle into the front of the stitch, into the back, grab hold of your working yarn, which is the yarn coming from your ball of yarn, the long end, and you are going to wrap it around the back of your needles and come back through that loop, and you're going to pull out, and you're going to insert that stitch back onto your left needle. So let's do that one more time. So you're going to go in through the front, loop your yarn around the back of the needle, hang on to that. I use my finger for a little tension. You're going to come back through the front of that hole and give a pull out, and you're going to insert that onto your needle. That is a basic cast on. Let's do one more. Into the front, wrap around the back, back through the front, give it a little gentle pull out, and then you're going to loop it back onto your left needle and give a little tug on the yarn. That's how you do a basic cast on. Now we're going to learn to do a knit one stitch, and that's your basic knit stitch when you're knitting. So you're going to do the same thing. You're going to go in the front of the stitch with your right needle. They'll cross it in the back. You'll wrap your yarn around the back needle. You're going to want to hold into it, have a little tension there, because you're not going to put it back on the stitch. You're going to drop it completely off of that left one. Once you come back through the front with your needle, you're going to pull up through, and you're going to drop that off the back, the left needle. So you're going to go into the front, wrap around the back, come back through the front of that stitch, and then pull off. In through the front, wrap your yarn around the back, back through, and pull that off. When I was first learning, I used my fingers a lot for tension, but also as holders for my yarn. It just keeps it in place so it doesn't slide off when you're in the middle of your stitch. So that is what I used to do a lot. So once I've done my last stitch, then all my stitches are on my right needle. You're just going to put that needle into your left hand, and your empty needle goes to your right hand, and you're ready to start working again. The next thing I'm going to show you is I'm going to show you a knit two together. So you're going to insert your needle into the second stitch from the end of your needle, and you're going to go through both stitches in the front and through into the back. You're going to wrap your yarn around the back needle just like you did in a knit one, and you're going to pull it straight through. Once you get it there, you're going to pull that stitch right off the back needle. So again, you're going to go into the front of both stitches, wrap your yarn around the needle, come back through the front and drop it off. So that is a knit 2 together. And the last thing we're going to practice is a yarn over. And a yarn over is just a simple, it makes a little simple decorative hole in a project. If you were making something like this knitted dishcloth that we're going to share the pattern and you're going to practice these techniques with, it makes just a simple little hole along the edge. So let's show you how to do that. You're going to put your needle into the front of the stitch. We're going to do a knit 1 first. Knit 1. Then a yarn over is just simply bring your yarn from the back over the front of the needle and then go ahead and knit your stitch like you normally would. And you see that makes that extra little hole in between there. Let's try that one more time so you can see that again. So this is a basic knit, yarn 1 between 2 knit stitches. So there's different ways you can do this depending upon what your stitch is before and after. But the one we're focusing on today for our pattern and our project is just a yarn over in between 2 knit stitches. So we're going to knit our first stitch. And then the yarn over is just simply bringing your yarn to the front and wrapping it around, and then going ahead and doing your regular knit stitch. So you see how your yarn is in between. You're going to go up and over, and you've made that extra little hole in the center. And again, we'll do it one more time. You're going to bring your yarn around the front, insert it into your stitch, wrap around, and pull through. And that's how you get the little hole for the yarn over. So to practice all of these techniques we've talked about, we're going to share this basic easy knit dishcloth pattern. It makes that a quick little pattern to practice your stitches and your techniques, but a quick project you can get done. This is a sample of that. You're going to work this pattern until you get to the widest point, which is your 44 stitches on the needle. Once you get to that point, come back next week and we're going to show you how to start the second half, which is where you'll start to decrease your rows until you get back down to your 4 stitches that you started with at the very beginning. So I hope you'll take these techniques and you'll practice and come join us next week so that we can finish the other half of our easy knit dishcloth.